In this video, we will talk about 6 most important features to check before buying the camera. We will talk about most important features to check before buying a DSLR or a mirrorless camera or before buying any camera. Most of my videos on my channel depends on these 6 important features. So guys, please watch the full video to get the detailed conclusion. So the first and the most important feature to check before buying the camera is the sensor size. So before buying the camera, please check the sensor size of the camera. To find the sensor size of the camera, please check the specifications of the camera. Because most important part of the camera is the sensor size. Because camera is a light capturing device. So if your camera is having bigger sensor, then camera is able to get more lights. More light your camera will absorb will give you better image quality even in low light situations, because bigger the sensor, better the quality. So there are many kind of sensor sizes and many kind of cameras. Biggest sensor size you will find is the full frame sensor, which is 36 into 24 mm sensor. Then you will find APS-C camera sensors, which is 23.5 into 15.6 mm sensor sizes. Then you will find 4/3 sensor sizes. Then you will find 1-inch camera sensor sizes. And then you will find digital camera sensor sizes. Full frame cameras, for example 5D from Canon, A7 from Sony and D750 from Nikon. And APS-C cameras just like Nikon D5600, Sony A6000. 4/3 camera sensors you will find on Panasonic cameras and Olympus cameras. If you are finding it difficult to search the specification of the camera, then you just need to go any shop where cameras are displayed, and if you are able to find the displayed cameras, then you just need to open the lens of the camera. After removing the lens, you will find the mirror, and behind the mirror it is sensor, and you can easily differentiate the sensor sizes. So camera sensor is the most important part of the camera. Before buying the camera, please check the sensor size. And the second most important feature you need to check before buying the camera is the lens of the camera, because lights are coming through the lens. So if your lens is giving you bigger opening, then you're getting more lights, and more lights coming into the sensor always gives you better image quality. So what is the meaning of bigger opening of lens and what is the meaning of smaller opening of lens? For example, there are two lenses. One is giving you minimum 3.5 aperture and other one is giving you minimum 2.8 aperture. So 2.8 is bigger opening. Don't be confused. Smaller the number of lens, giving you better opening. Bigger the number of lens, giving you smaller opening. So always look after the lenses which is having smaller f numbers, because smaller f numbers can give you bigger opening, and bigger opening can give you better background defocus. And smaller opening is good for large depth of field, means background and front both in focus. And bigger opening means smaller f number will always give you better low light performance and better background defocus. So there are two things to check on a camera lens. First is aperture number and second is the zoom or the wide angle. For example, there are two lenses. One is giving you 300 mm zoom and other lens is giving you 200 mm zoom. So 300 mm will give you more zoom and 200 mm will give you more wide angle. Wide angle is also important for landscape photography and for wide angle photographs. So 300 mm will give you more zoom, 200 mm will give you more wide angle. Zoom is more important for the bird photography and the wildlife photography, and the wide angle is more important for the landscape photography, for the wide angle photographs. So there are two things to check in a lens before buying the camera. One is aperture number, other one is the zoom. If you are looking for portrait photography, then it is more important to buy a lower f number lens. And the third most important feature to check in a camera before buying the camera are the focus points. For example, one camera is giving you 9 focus points. Then your camera is able to focus at this much area. And if your camera is giving you 200 focus points, then camera is able to focus at this much area. So more focus points will give you more coverage area, and lower number of focus points can cover smaller area. If the subject is moving outside the number of focus points, then sometimes it becomes difficult for the camera to manage the focus points. So more number of focus points will give you more coverage area, and the lower number of focus points will give you fewer coverage area. And the fourth most important feature of a camera is the speed of the camera. For example, you're clicking images, you're clicking one image, second image and third image. If you're clicking image after image, then it is important for the camera to respond faster. And for the faster response, you want a faster camera which doesn't give you so much lag. For example, if you're buying a DSLR camera and if you're using the viewfinder, then DSLR cameras doesn't take so much time from one image to another if you're using the viewfinder. But in the DSLR cameras, if you're using the screen, you're clicking the image through the screen, through watching the screen, then DSLR cameras so much time for clicking through watching the screen. But in the mirrorless cameras, camera remains faster while you're using the viewfinder or while you are using the screen. So mirrorless camera remains faster on the viewfinder, on the screen both. But DSLR cameras remains faster inside the viewfinder, but on the screen becomes slow. And one more thing I want to add on speed segment, that is the frames per second. For example, there are two cameras. One is giving you 5 frames per second and other one is giving you 10 frames per second. So the camera which is giving you 10 frames per second, that camera can take 10 photographs at 1 second. And the camera which is giving you 5 frames per second, that camera is able to take 5 photographs at 1 second. In sports photography, wildlife photography, bird photography, we need more frames per second because we can take many shots and get the print and use the best one from the all. And one more thing I want to add, it should be good buffer memory. What is buffer memory? Buffer memory means if you are clicking the images, you have pressed the shutter button and you are not leaving the shutter button. So camera will keep taking photographs. So you will find the buffer memory of the camera. For example, one camera is giving you 30 images buffer memory. So one camera will stop after 30 images. If your camera is giving you good frames per second and also giving you good buffer memory, then that camera is better than lower buffer memory camera. 10 frames per second, 50 shots buffer memory is better than 11 frames per second and 30 shots buffer memory. So there are 3 things we need for the faster camera. One is lower lag time, other one is frames per second, and the third one is good buffer memory. So these are the part of the speed of the camera, and the speed of the camera is also important while choosing a camera. So now we will move to the 5th important feature to check before buying the camera, and the 5th important feature is the 4K video. So these days people are using the camera for the videos and photographs both, and these days most of the cameras are giving you 4K videos also. So you can check your camera is giving you 4K video or not. And these days people are also vlogging, and if you're vlogging you need selfie screen to see yourself and make the video, and also mic jack in the camera. If your camera is giving you 3.5 mic jack, or you are able to attach the mic. So the 4 things we can check in the video features. First is 4K video, slow motion video, mic jack and the selfie screen option. So now we will move to the 6th important feature to check before choosing a camera, and the 6th important feature is the ease of use. Your camera should be very easy to use. Dials should be properly placed. There should be proper dials for every feature. It should be lightweight to carry the camera for a longer period. For example, mirrorless cameras are doing good these days because of the ease of use. Mirrorless cameras are giving you weight advantage. These cameras are lightweight from normal DSLR cameras. These cameras are also giving you digital viewfinder. In the digital viewfinder, you are getting the preview of the image before clicking the image. But in a DSLR cameras, only numbers will change. Like you can see the smaller exposure number which is changing, but you cannot see the live preview of the image. But in a mirrorless camera, you can see the exact preview of the image before clicking the image. So mirrorless cameras becomes easy to use when you're comparing with the DSLR cameras. If you're making video at heavy sunshine, you can use a viewfinder of a mirrorless camera. So mirrorless cameras are giving you weight advantage, ease of use advantage. That's why these days mirrorless cameras are performing well. So these are the 6 most important features to check before buying the camera. First is the sensor size. Second is the lens. Third is the focus points. Fourth is the speed of the camera. Fifth is the video features. And 6th is the ease of use. So guys, before checking any feature, before buying the camera, these 6 features are the most important features to check before buying the camera. So guys, please give me a like for this video. And guys, please comment which camera you like or which camera you don't like, and why you like and why you don't like. I will always answer you. And please subscribe the channel to get these kinds of knowledgeable and informative videos. And please share the video. Thanks.